Hello and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today in the review box, we have the BMW 507, a brand new casting to the Hot Wheels mainline for 2023. I think it debuted in D case, maybe C, I think it was D. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at this one and see if it is worth adding to your collection. So let's get started with our casting. So just looking at our proportions, it all looks good. There's nothing that looks super wonky. I will say, as a whole, I'm guessing that this is not truly 1/64th because this car is pretty small in real life, and this casting is, it's still small for a Hot Wheels, but it's not as small as some others. That being said, though, being true 1/64th is never really something that is super important to the overall look. So we'll go ahead and put the real life car in the top right corner there. As we go ahead and take a closer look, everything that you see that's painted white, that is the actual die-cast body, and it looks good. The base here looks pretty good, and it actually wraps around the entire front bumper as a piece of the base, and then the grille section here is the pieces of the base as well. And then that actually wraps around to the back here. This rear bumper is also a piece of the base, and looks really, really good. Inside, the interior is a lot more visible since this is an open top car, and the details inside there look great. You can actually see a piece of the base even down there as well, so that looks fantastic. The actual casted in details are pretty good as well. We do have our door lines, kind of a hood line up top. We even have like these little bits of headlight here sticking out as part of the actual casting, so that is a really cool detail. There is a license plate thing on the base there. There is a single mirror, as there should be, like the real-life car. Moving on to the back here, we even have our taillights kind of casted in, as well as the trunk kind of opener thing, lid bit there. Looks good. The door handles are actually casted in as well, so very, very good on the casted in details for our paint and deco. So it's very simple. It's just kind of a nice, simple, white, clean color. The interior being red is a really good matchup. It just looks nice. It looks classic. I think it's really nice. That's really all there is to say about it. It is a realistic color. Definitely something that you could see this car being in real life. So if straight realism is an important thing for you, definitely nothing to fear here. So our detailing. This is actually the only spot where this casting really kind of has a few mishaps. And as you can see, our grille here is nicely detailed. There is like actual etched in details there, which looks great. We did mention the license plate holder. We do get our BMW logo up front. Mine is a little cockeyed, but that's not the end of the world. We actually have this silver trim piece kind of tampoed on as well. And then up here by the windshield, these are little bits are tampoed on as well. However, we do not get headlights, which is a little bit sad. Moving down the side here, we do get this tampoed on. This looks fantastic, and the door handle is also tampoed on as well. And then moving on to the rear, we actually don't have anything on the rear, so there's no BMW logos and no taillights. That being said, overall it does look pretty good, especially in this white color. The red one that's going to be coming out later, I think the lack of headlights is going to be even more noticeable. That being said, though, these shouldn't be too hard to do on your own. So if the lack of headlights really does bother you, I think just a silver paint tip marker shouldn't be too much of an issue. You can remedy that pretty easily. So this being a Hot Wheels mainline, it does roll, and it rolls very, very smoothly. Pros and cons. So the biggest pro for this one is it's just nice and clean. We didn't get any kind of wonky deco on it or anything like that. It just really looks fantastic, and kind of sectoring into that red interior just goes so well with it. It looks very classic, very clean. The wheels matching up with it nicely as well, kind of this blacked out wheel with the white trim line, almost giving it a white wall tire look. It just looks great. I love it. As far as cons go, there's really only one, and I'm not even really going to say the lack of the headlights is such a huge deal, because these, like I said, should be super easy to do yourself. The lack of taillights, though, is a little bit more disappointing, especially the fact that The rule for Hot Wheels is 3 sides get tampos. So you get one side here, I guess, one side here, I guess, and then this top side got it in this case with these bits here. But since these are so small, I feel like it probably wouldn't have been a big deal to go ahead and throw some on there. But again, not the worst thing, especially since it is just a mainline. And for a quick size comparison, here we have it with some other BMW convertibles, with the Hot Wheels BMW M Roadster and the Matchbox BMW M4 convertible. And here we have it next to some other 50s open-top sports cars with the Matchbox Porsche 550 Spyder and the Hot Wheels first-generation Corvette. So it is now time for my overall thoughts, and I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 9 out of 10. So, it's not something I was crazy super excited for because it is a car from the 50s, and as we probably know at this point, my favorite cars are more modern exotics. That being said, though, for a car from the 50s, this thing looks great, and the casting itself is, as far as Hot Wheels goes, this is perfect. You know, obviously you're never going to expect like mini GT levels or anything like that, but from what Hot Wheels gives out, this is perfect. Especially on a mainline casting. The deco, perfect, clean, looks amazing. I think the only downside, like I mentioned, is the lack of headlights and taillights, but this being a mainline is, it's really not the end of humanity. For some reason, it does seem like BMWs always are the ones that end up lacking their lights, though, which is odd. I wonder if that's BMW is just very lenient about that kind of thing. That being said, though, we did talk about it should be super easy to do them yourself if it really does bother you. This white one here really doesn't bother me much. I think the red one, it will bother me a touch. But yeah, overall, this is definitely one that you should add to your collection. It is very clean, very nice, and just overall a solid release from Hot Wheels. And that is all I have for this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you are new, and go ahead and leave a comment down below telling me what your thoughts are on this particular model, and I will see you in the next video.